So I'm a big fan of history. Um, I love history. I think that it provides insight into human nature, and that with enough understanding of history, you can often make predictions about what will happen. Now, one thing I've also discovered in my 55 years is that there are constant attempts to revise history. Um, and this is done by whichever powers that be, are currently in charge or have the ear of the media. And so I'm making this video specifically to address something I see happening along revisionist lines, and that is the presidency of Barack Obama. Now, I'm not saying Obama was a great president, but he was a good one. Certainly better than Clinton. Jesus. Better than Bush. Bush the second, W. And I say that because, well, let me back up. Excuse me. You have to understand the time that Obama was running. One of the major issues, and there were several, but one of the major issues at the time was the Afghanistan war. A lot of us were opposed to it. I first voted Democrat because of it. I voted for Kerry in 2004. I think the wisdom of those saying that Afghanistan was a needless war has been proven right. So McCain, God bless him, in 2008, he said something that immediately turned me off of him. He said that the Afghanistan war might last 100 years. He also got Sarah Palin as the VP, which is the real reason he lost. Lord, that woman was an idiot. But the Afghanistan issue was huge. We also were in the midst of just economic hard times. It was I don't guess it was a depression, but it was pretty damn close to it. And for better or for worse, W took the blame for that. I don't personally believe that, except for extraordinary actions, that presidents actually have much control over the economy. That's a separate issue, though. For the most part, I think the economy just waxes and wanes. I've seen it happen too many times under a variety of leadership styles and philosophies. Now, the revisionism that I'm seeing is that Obama somehow made race relations worse in America. No, he didn't. As a white man, I am privy to conversations that other people may not be. As a southern white man in Alabama, people will say things to me assuming that I agree with their philosophy that I do not. There was a lot of racial animus against Obama. and I don't buy into that. I mean, you already know that I think ghetto blacks are vile. Obama was not a ghetto black. Obama was a very smart man. He was a bit timid for my taste. I am very much in favor of universal health care. And I think he really screwed the pooch, dropped the ball, whatever you want to say. He could have passed it through. He was trying to be a statesman and bring the Republicans on board and work for compromise. And sir, I hope that in retrospect you would have done it different. Because I don't think we'll have another chance at universal health care in my lifetime. But still, he tried. That's more than Biden did. No, hell, man, Trump, is doing the Trump prescription thing online. At least that's something. And Trump, I think, has been a good president. But really, you have to wait till after their term and sort of view the consequences. But this idea that Obama made things worse racially. Look, man, I live in a town that is half black. After Obama was elected, things got better, in my opinion. It's a lot harder to claim a glass ceiling for blacks when a black man has shattered that black ceiling. Now, there's other things I got problems with Obama on. Reclassification of marijuana, Trump had to do that. But one thing that he did do, that Obama did, that I'll always love him for, is he got that son of a bitch Bin Laden. He got the guy who gave us a black eye. He got the guy who masterminded the killing 3,000 people on our soil. Shot him in the eye and sunk him to the bottom of the sea. Rest in hell, Bin Laden. So if nothing else, Obama has my respect for that. But he was also very adamant about keeping our borders. You didn't see this ridiculous Biden-Harris open border shit. Obama deported the shit out of brown people who were entering our country illegally. Obama blew the shit out of brown people overseas with drones. Obama was very good at killing terrorists. God bless the man. Now, I haven't kept up with him since he left office. Maybe I see peripherally these cultural things, like his wife has a podcast, and apparently she's blaming white people for a lot of stuff. And I don't know, man. Maybe he's gotten on the racial grifter train too. I would have to look into it, and I don't really give a shit. I'm just speaking about, I don't like revisionist history. There are many things, many arguments that could be made that Obama did wrong, but the racial animus, at least from me, an old white guy in Alabama, is not there. And also, the man can give a hell of a speech. Damn, Obama is an incredibly eloquent speaker, up there with Cato from the Roman Republic. Obama is probably one of the top 5 rhetoricians to have ever held that office. Probably higher than that. And so, not a great presidency, but a good presidency. And you can compare him to Biden and Clinton, and you can see that he is head and shoulders above those two jokers. Anyhow, I just want my feelings known. I want to stick up for the man that I voted for twice, and I still don't regret those votes. I just wish he'd done more. But it is what it is. Anyhow, y'all take care.